guys, we are in Michigan, and you probably figured that out if you follow us already, but we are getting close to wrapping up season 2 of our traveling. We actually left Michigan last October and got back in April of this year. So thought for a little bit of change here, gonna do kind of like a one take with some informational stuff. I've had a few people reach out to me kind of asking about the Jeep and asking about the trailer, so next couple weeks I'm going to do a couple videos on what we've done to set our Jeep Gladiator up and some of the modifications to the Taxa Mantis that we have. So I'm going to dive in, start off with our tow vehicle. And I got the computer out and kind of sitting here so I can have some specs for you that I can throw out too, just in case anybody is looking for those. So we started off with a 2021 Jeep Gladiator Sport with the Max tow package. So you could probably start with just a Jeep Sport or really any model, but we went with the Max tow originally to get the maximum towing power and any of the benefits of that towing power that came with the Jeep Gladiator. Mainly that was the 410 gears. So that was the big thing. Since we have lifted the Jeep, put 35s on it, we've upgraded the suspension to a heavy duty suspension. I'll throw a link in the description. It's Dobinsons springs that we got on there, and they allow us to, let me say this, you should never go over the specified weight, and you'll find that on the driver's side door for front and rear suspension. But I can tell you that when you upgrade the suspension, our coil springs are a lot stronger, that we ride at that max capacity while traveling on a daily basis. So with everything loaded, the trailer hooked up, we're riding that line of being at max capacity. So with the upgraded suspension, it carries the weight phenomenal. And we've put around 12,000 miles on our Jeep with this trip and have had 0 issues whatsoever. So we really wanted to set the Jeep up so that we knew we didn't have problems with it. So suspension, tires, we did end up re-gearing it to a 488 gear, which when you break it down on some of the websites, you can find basically what your towing power is. And when you take the Max tow package compared to our Jeep with a lift, 35-inch tires, and 488 gears, we're actually slightly above what the factory Max tow package power is. So I wanted to be there, and it was proven to be a good idea. It's made the Jeep and towing the trailer phenomenal throughout the trip. We have a front winch mount bumper just in case we get stuck. We travel alone, so I want to be able to get out of there. And some of the things that we've also added were a roof rack. We wanted to kind of separate weight and storage, so we added a short roof rack that just goes on top of the cab, and it's a couple crossbars from Rhino Rack, and we added a carry case box on top so we could put our chairs, like my Helinex chair I'm sitting in right now, some of our camping tables, things that we use outdoor, the kids boogie boards that maybe you saw when we were in Florida. They had those, so I wanted to carry some things extra but not have them in the bed of the truck. A big important thing to me, at least, was I don't want to have to move 2 things to get 1 thing. It would kind of make traveling with that much stuff useless if you got to move a bunch of stuff to get to something every single time you stop. So that's why we added that. You'll see on the roof rack I added some element tracks. That's also in case we get stuck somewhere and I don't have a winching point, that can go underneath our tires, give us traction to be able to climb out if we're in sand or mud. We pretty much avoid the snow, so I don't have to worry about that one anymore. But we have those in case, and we never got stuck. We didn't do too much off-road stuff at all this year, but they're there in case. And the next thing I'll go through is the bed cover. So we have the full folding down cover on the back of the bed, and that has been awesome because it's lightweight, so we're not adding a lot of weight to the bed. Like I said, we kind of roll at pretty high capacity on a regular basis. Keeps everything dry, which is great, and it can fold down. So the next topic is the deck drawer system, but since we're kind of lifted with the drawer system, if I ever need to put something big in the back of the Jeep, I didn't want a full cover that was a hard shell. That's a lot more to take off by myself to put a large object in the back. When we're in Michigan, we got some dirt bikes and stuff like that that the kids like to rip around on, and we'll kind of travel around with those. So I want to be able to take that cover off, and that's why I went with the soft folding cover. The brand we went with was the Soft Topper. They make them for multiple different trucks. So had that for actually over a year. I bought that prior to us moving full-time into the camper and traveling, and it's held up very well. Last thing on there is the decked drawer system. Now, I love it. I love it for what we do. If we weren't traveling full-time, I'd say that it does definitely hinder what you can do with the truck bed, and that's across the board, not just the Jeep. You know, they make them for every truck. But for what we do with traveling, it makes things so much more organized. I have a drawer that does all our tools on the left side. So if I need tools, I know exactly where to go. The drawer on the right side is a little wider, so it can fit some more stuff, and it houses our electrical stuff. It houses all our hookup equipment like hoses and pressure regulators and all the stuff that we need when we're going in and out of RV parks, or even just in the middle of nowhere and we got to pull some extension cords or some solar stuff out. Everything stays in that drawer. And then all the way in the back is our iCamper cooker, so our skillet, so that it keeps everything easily accessible, and I love it. So it's been a great vehicle. This is actually the second time we've traveled across the country with the Jeep, and we haven't had any problems. And I think a big part of that is maintenance. You got to keep up on everything. It's important. If you've watched any of our videos, I used to be a mechanic. I was a mechanic for a long time. I taught it for a few years before we decided to go full time. And maintenance is huge. If you keep up on things, you're just going to have less breakdowns. We're partial to Jeeps. We love Jeeps. I've had a handful of Wranglers. When the Gladiator came out, I wanted one. So we ended up getting it, and it's been great because of the tow capacity and carrying capacity, but still being small, nimble, and very off-road capable. So I would say it's a great tow vehicle for the Taxi Mantis. Any type of small trailer, I'd recommend it. It's not the greatest on fuel mileage, but which we did go with the I should probably touch base on that. We did go with the 3.6 liter V6 engine, and I know that they had the diesel option available. Since we ride that line pretty fine on maxing out the Jeep's payload on a regular basis, the V6 was the best option for us. It gave me the most storage capacity in the Jeep to carry what we needed. So, hey, Jeep, if you're listening, we'd love to, be a partner, but I have nothing but good things to say about Jeeps. So, hey, if you guys have any questions or comments about our Jeep Gladiator or towing with it, please comment below. I do a pretty good job on trying to keep up with anybody that makes any comments, and I will make sure that I get back with you and try to give you the best information that I can. Don't forget, like and subscribe.